Alright, we are on the draw with Rug Delver, and this hand is really bad. 4 lands is the absolute maximum I keep pretty much ever, and usually I do not keep hands with 4 lands. This hand has a Serum Vision, so it has that going for it. The Hooting Mandrills, plural, make it pretty bad. We're going to keep this one. Scry, do we want to draw Traverse the Ulvenwald? We don't. We don't have a Disrupting Shoal, so there's no point in holding priority. And they're playing a black-white deck. Having 3 lands means we're going to get the trifecta of Steam Vents, Island, Forest. Gonna use this Stomping Ground, Scalding Tarn to grab a Steam Vents, and we're going to cast that Serum Visions, hoping to gas up some threats. That is a threat. I'm not happy to draw that island, and I don't think I'm going to want this Lightning Bolt. So we're just gonna scry like that. Excuse me. I'm wondering if they're playing a third color. It might just be tokens. Tide Hollow Sculler. That's going to take our Lightning Bolt. Of course, if you really have a 3-drop you don't want countered, I suppose you could take the Mana Leak, and then I can't deal with the Sculler and have Mana Leak mana. But I kind of want to just play this Tarmogoyf right now. So that's what we're going to do. They know about everything but the Tarmogoyf, so that's a little unfortunate. But I do think the best thing we can do here is play a Goyf. Next turn, hopefully we'll deal with Tide Hollow Sculler, Eldrazi. Okay, that's probably taken my Lightning Bolt, which is why they took the Mana Leak. Nothing that we could have done to get Mana Leak back in time to counter the Thought-Knot. They took Vapor Snag trying to defend the Thought-Knot Seer. That's interesting because we're going to... Oh, okay. That is so tempting. A part of me really wants to use this Tarfire and just have a massive Tarmogoyf. Now, they're on probably Eldrazi Hate Bears from the looks of it, so I don't want to show them the Tarfire. Now, I don't believe there's a creature in the graveyard, which means Goyf will be a 4/5 when this bolt resolves, so I'm okay with that. We're going to keep the Tarfire in our hand to conceal at least some amount of information. Oh look, now we have Mana Leak back. 5/6, Artifact. Wow, that Goyf would have gotten huge. I kind of do want to attack, actually. I think our clock might just be so much better than theirs. It's a 4-turn clock either way. I'm going to do it. We're getting in there. They need a land before they can path. Now they have a land, they might just path. Of course, they don't know Tarfire, so that's good. We will take some amount of lumps. Now, if we Tarfire them, they're dead in 2 turns, which is at least somewhat interesting. Collective Brutality. I think we're going to end up countering that. Are they going to discard anything? They discard Lingering Souls. Modes 1 and 3. They're going to take a card and drain for 2. Okay, so Lingering Souls is going to be a huge beating if we don't draw Hooting Mandrills. We're also going to try to conserve our life total a little bit, and we are going to counter this Brutality. That was actually really good. How sweet is Collective Brutality plus Lingering Souls? I mean, the consolation is they have to take one to do it, but man. Oh, that's awesome. So much value there. Attacking with Goyf just got a lot worse. I am strongly considering just 2-for-1ing myself off of this Thought-Knot Seer. It seems pretty good. I might just attack first. We may as well swing with Goyf because we can't block spirits. Excellent. That's fine. And now I can't. That was a misplay. That was a very, very large misplay. I apologize. I forgot about needing double red to cast 2 red spells in the same turn. That very well may cost us the game. Excuse me. We don't have blockers, so we're not going to do anything there. Relic is a problem. Oh man, is Relic a problem? Now, if they're mainboarding Relics, they probably have Wasteland Strangler in their deck. Yeah, I think Black-White Eldrazi generally has that kind of package. Thought-Knot, Relic, Tide Hollow Sculler, all very good at exiling things. And there is the Strangler. Now, this isn't going to get any value off of our Tarmogoyf, which is good. Unless they have something super sneaky. This Tarmogoyf doesn't have damage on it. Maybe they're playing around Stubborn Denial? They can't be playing around Stubborn Denial because they only have 1 mana. I'm thinking like, get this below 4 power, and then play a Path to Exile. Now they don't know either of these cards, so that's good. Are they popping that? Yes, they are. Nice. Okay, let's... Oh! We couldn't have played around that. That was good on their part. There was no window to Tarfire and save the Goyf. Now we're in trouble. Now we're slightly less in trouble. I might actually bolt the Spirit and slam Hoots. How good is that? I don't think that's great. Special. Delve 2. So attacking with the Goyf that time was bad, because I forgot we didn't have double red for Bolt Tarfire. The Relic play, we couldn't have played around. Can't counter the ETB trigger, can't counter the Relic ability, and there's no window to get Tarfire in the yard. Now, this is unfortunate. We are going to chump block, or trade. Sorry, that's not a chump. We do take 1, and we hopefully draw something very good. Second Thought-Knot. Well, Bolt's not great here. We are definitely on the back foot. If we fetch, we are dead on board, so we're not going to start off with that. Now we're a little less dead on board. They know about this, and I think the plan is going to be Snap Bolt. Deal with Thought-Knot. Draw another card. So let's get this graveyard ready. We no longer have Bolt, they took it. We have Snap Charm. Snap Charm, unfortunately, doesn't keep Snapcaster around. It does not have enough toughness. So that's going to resolve. We can't stop that. We're going to let them attack before we do anything. I'm trying to figure out if we're just dead here. They probably know that we have Snapcaster in our deck, but there's a chance that they don't think we have it. So maybe if we're straight up dead, we're not going to do anything. This has Trample. We can't bounce this because we have no cards to pitch to its counter ability. We're just dead. Alright. Now, against Eldrazi decks, Dismember is excellent, and Huntmaster is pretty much my favorite card. Blood Moon is also likely to be amazing due to the sheer number of non-basic lands they presented, and I'm thinking about this Pyroclasm. Hooting Mandrills, I think, is where you want to be. Generally, I don't like Reveler against Eldrazi decks. It's just too slow. Thought Knot on turn 3, turn 2 sometimes. Smasher on turn 3, Smasher on turn 4. Those are good clocks. I don't think we can just try to interact with bolts and vapor snags and things long enough for Reveler to actually come down and take over the game. So I don't think that's the plan. With that in mind, we may or may not want Traverse the Ulvenwalds in our deck, and Artifact Hate is going to be amazing. We can make them pop a relic outside of good sequencing. You need to sequence your relics properly to do that trick they did with our Goyf. So that's a consideration. We can force relic and then get things in the yard to rebuild. So I like these. I like them more than Traverse. This is the no pile, this is the yes pile, this is the maybe pile. We're actually going to sort that better, because I don't think that yeses should be between maybes and nos. I think it should be no, maybe, yes. These, actually, we don't need a yes pile, because we just put yes cards in. Okay, cards I don't like so much include Thought Scour. We're looking to interact early, which means we're going to be putting things in the graveyard anyways. Vapor Snag is interesting. That's going to go with the Traverses. Simic Charm, I think, is better than Vapor Snag here because it lets us make things big and just plow through their dudes. Vapor Snag, though, isn't as good. And when you're bringing in Dismembers, I think getting rid of some amount of Vapor Snags is at least okay. Now, they do have weenies, so I want a decent number of bolt effects. Maybe just the 5? I might go down to 4. I'm cutting bolts over Tarfire because I didn't see any 3 toughness guys. There was a lot of 2 toughness, which means unless they're going to the face, it's essentially the same card, except this is tribal. Goyf, Traverse, Synergy. Counter spells are probably not going to be too great. They don't have too many 2 CMC cards, so Spell Snare is probably bad. And besides Path, I don't see Disrupting Shoal being good. We're also bringing in a lot of cards that don't work with Disrupting Shoal. I definitely talk too much. Okay, so from now on, this hand actually looks really good if they don't take the Blood Moon, and we're going to be slamming Delver anyways. From now on, I'm going to try not talking until I finish sideboarding, because I think I just talk way too much. Let's get a basic island and play this Delver. Now we probably shouldn't Blood Moon until we find a basic forest, a Misty Rainforest, or a Wooded Foothills, or a Traverse. Traverse also works. But if it becomes clear that Blood Moon is way better for us than it is them, I'm totally slamming Blood Moon. Excuse me. We're gonna hit for 1. Get in there. And I think we're gonna play this Scalding Tarn to try to minimize the idea of them thinking we're gonna get a basic green land. Because if they don't interact with our hand right now, I'm going to very gleefully slam Blood Moon on them. Wow. Huh, so I think that just happened. Sure. I will select Scalding Tarn. And let's fetch something. It doesn't really matter. It needs to be a red source. We're not getting a basic island, unfortunately. I think we're just going to get a Steam Vents. Steam Vents and Mountain are essentially the same there. I would love to reveal this. Almost as much as I would love to fetch out a basic forest right now. I actually think we play Misty and then just attack. We will be playing Blood Moon, but we're going to do it post-combat. Just cuz. Just cuz. If they have Path right now, they might make it out alive. If they don't have Path right now, they are in some shit. And if they do have Path, we're going to grab the other island. Let's get a basic forest. Maybe they run Manatite? We could theoretically be punished. Blood Moon resolved. That's step one. They pop Relic, sure. Tarmogoyf is going to be fairly small. Oh, using the relics to find basics seems very good. We also have Simic Charm up if they happen to find a Path to Exile and a white source. So I think we're just perfectly fine. I'm going to play this tapped because I only need 3 mana anyways. So we may as well get the tapped land out of the way. And let's get our clock on. Okay, now, I don't foresee this game being particularly interesting if it goes our way. We can even hexproof the Blood Moon if they have a way to blow it up. How cool is that? So yeah, Blood Moon doesn't make for the most interesting games when it's slammed on turn 3 and they can't interact with it. But at least we have a clock to make the game not last forever. If you're playing against, say, Red-White Prison, they'll Blood Moon you and then dirtle around for like 7 turns. I'm doing my best to get this game over with. I just want to win at the same time. Oh, hey, Huntmaster. Good to see you. I kind of want to slam that Huntmaster. Oh, no, I don't. They don't need to know that we have Huntmaster. That's the play. If they have a way to make us need the Huntmaster to win, we're going to play it. Otherwise, we're just not going to. I think not showing them Huntmaster is probably our best play here. They crack Relic. They need 2 pieces of interaction. That deck is just full of non-basics. Look how greedy that is. I don't think there's any point in playing more lands. Alright, and next turn they're dead. We're just going to hit and bolt. Yep. Clean up. What did they discard? Anything interesting? Lingering Souls. It's pretty smart. We have Bolt Bolt. Not particularly necessary. None of our draws were interesting, of course. There was the Huntmaster thing, but I don't think there's really any need to play Huntmaster this game. There's such a small chance that you lose. And we're just gonna do that. We may as well keep the Simic Charm in case they do something super duper fishy. And Bolt is on the stack. Xmage, please. Oh no, their clock is counting down. It's okay. Alright, they don't like Blood Moon. possible. We're just going to let our opponent know that we don't enjoy watching them do nothing. They may or may not be very salty about that. I don't know if the "that's kind" is sarcasm. Yeah, I could understand hating Blood Moon when this is your deck. I don't know if they're just going to keep us here. Maybe they just want to talk a little bit. Hopefully they let the bolt resolve. There we go. Okay. Now, we're going to look at fine-tuning this post-board configuration, and I will talk about it when I am done. Maybe I'll just talk a little bit while I think. Yeah, I think I'm just going to think out loud. I think that's our best case scenario here. So Stubborn Denial is at least somewhat interesting because of Path. Cards that I don't like, these are both great. We're going to leave Blood Moon in, of course, even though our opponent despises it. If you don't want to be Blood Mooned out of a game, you should play a deck that doesn't unilaterally fold to Blood Moon. Also not doing anything on turns 1 and 2. I mean, I guess Relic, but you can't lean on Graveyard Hate that heavily. The main things I'm considering are Stubborn Denial and Lightning Bolt. I don't think Shoal is coming in because we took out too many blue cards. Snare doesn't seem good. Vapor Snag, Reveler, Traverse. I don't think we need more Traverses. We have Path to Exile to ramp us. And Path is one of their only forms of interaction. So do we want Bolt or Denial? And if so, what do we cut? Mana Leak is good, as evidenced by them taking it with their Sculler. Don't think I cut any other Denial. Simic Charm seems excellent. Serum Visions. Maybe I cut a Pyroclasm? Lingering Souls. I think I like Pyroclasm. Yeah, I think I just run this. Maybe cut one Pyroclasm and bring back a Thought Scour. Pyroclasm and Thought Scour kind of share similar space because Pyroclasm is very good against Lingering Souls, and Thought Scour helps Mandrills, which is good against Lingering Souls. I don't know. I really don't. I think there's a lot of leeway here. My main concern is Pyroclasm is super dead against 4 Thought-Knot Seer and 4 Reality Smashers, so I don't think I want too many of them. So maybe I just do that. Thought Scour would go with cantrips. Yeah, we're just going to call that. See how it goes. I don't think there are many percentage points to be gained looking back at that, but we're going to see what we can do. This hand is excellent. I'll keep. We're looking at turn 1 Delver, turn 2 Tarmogoyf. If we happen to draw a Blood Moon on our first or second turn, we may play that Traverse, and our opponent may just totally tilt out. Which is a concern, because I don't like pissing people off for the sake of pissing them off. Now, we don't have Blood Moon, so I'm going to see what I can do to try to capitalize on their fear of the card. Hopefully we can get them to fetch lands that they otherwise wouldn't want to use. Let's grab a basic island. Just let them know that we prioritize basics. That may seem extraordinarily harsh, especially when I say capitalize. I guess it's a good thing I didn't use the word exploit, because that would have sounded super mean. Them ghost quartering our only forest would be a huge concern. I would really like to see a mana leak. Stubborn Denial's okay, I'll definitely take the flip. Now, the only damage-based removal that they play is Collective Brutality, which we can play around. I don't really want to get the forest, because they can ghost quarter it. So I'm actually going to get a, the card is Stomping Ground. We have an island. We can't get double green unless we go green, Traverse for the forest, and our plan is to play this Tarmogoyf on curve. Now, if we can get Goyf to a 4-power creature, I would be very happy with playing Tarmogoyf on turn 3 with Denial back up. But we don't really have that ability. We will get the Stomping Ground. Another play we could make is Delver Traverse. We do want Stomping Ground for sure. I don't want to get Forest because they have Ghost Quarter. They may be looking to Ghost Quarter themselves, but if they Ghost Quarter our Forest, Blood Moon becomes quite awful. Now, we can play Goyf, or we Traverse and Delver. We're only traversing for a land, and it's actually pretty unlikely that we traverse for anything that isn't a basic land. So I think I might just do that. Oh. Grab Forest. Play this Delver. That also is probably going to make them quite concerned with the whole Blood Moon thing. Of course, if they're holding up Ghost Quarter to play around Blood Moon, that means they're not tapping out every turn and they're not using their mana efficiently. So I don't hate that line either, as far as the whole scare them with the potential of Blood Moon. Collective Brutality, kill Delver, take Denial. I kind of like them playing Brutality here because it means they're not playing a big Eldrazi. Mode, just one mode. That's interesting. So they don't have Lingering Souls in their hand, because I can't think of any reason to not discard Souls if you have it. They just kill... No, they did both modes. Stubborn Denial's gone. Why did it say one mode? Xmage, are you lying to me? They discarded Eldrazi Displacer. They run Eldrazi Displacer. That is interesting. I will happily reveal this Ancient Grudge. They have Perfect Information, but we have a 3/2 with flying. So I think that's fair. Because we don't have any spells to cast besides Tarmogoyf, and they know exactly what our hand is, I'm going to play the Steam Vents tapped. There's no point in bluffing anything, so we're just going to do that, and they're setting up for some very rude Goyf action here. Pop it right now. That's interesting. I guess they're digging for lands, which makes Blood Moon actually super good. We have no targets for any of our spells, so we can't really proactively buff Goyf. I will happily hold up Mana Leak, though, while my opponent is screwed on land drops. So I think this guy's just having a terrible match. Between the Blood Moon and the Mana Screw, he's probably going to be livid. I'm not going to play the Scalding Tarn because I'm only playing 2 spells regardlessly, although there's an argument for playing it and swinging with Goyf. Like cracking it to get the 1 power gives us a 2-turn clock instead of a 3-turn clock. That might have been better. We're going to Mana Leak that, which, well, that doesn't actually improve our clock. Goyf also can now survive a Collective Brutality, so that's okay as well. We're just not going to play the Scalding Tarn. Now, however, Displacer, they don't have the mana for it. How big can we make this Tarmogoyf? If we can get Goyf big enough to eat the Displacer, Pyroclasm, that kills Delver. Okay, so we're not attacking with the Goyf. We're just gonna hit for 3 and do what we do. Pyroclasm also would end up getting Goyf killed in that spot. It's super unfortunate that they now have an active Displacer, but I think we can deal with it, especially because they need to spend their entire turn using the Displacer. They no longer need to spend their entire turn using Displacer. They drew out of that quite nicely. It kind of sucks that it took them so long to draw the lands they needed, but man, did they draw the lands. They can't attack. We draw a lightning bolt. I'm going to attack with Delver, make them use their mana, and then bolt their face. Do that. They need to activate Displacer, and it is highly unlikely that they have a way to interact with this lightning bolt, especially when down to 2 mana. And do we have it? Yep, there it is. Alright, well, hope you guys enjoyed that. Those were some good games. The first one that I botched was a less good game, but I hope the second two make up for it, and I hope our opponent isn't too upset. I don't play Magic to piss off Magic players. I play Magic because I love the game. I'm not one of those people who like, you know, the stereotypical lantern player? One of my friends is kind of like that. Although, he loves the game too, so. But yeah, that ain't me. Hope you guys liked that, and I hope to see you, metaphorically, next time.